The Chicago Bulls can't make this mistake. The Chicago Bulls are a young, rebuilding, developing team led by Zach LaVine, and with him taking that next step, the rest of the young Bulls need to come along with him. In this video, I'll be talking about the future in Chicago with their current talent and how much potential they really have, or don't have. During the 90s, the Bulls were on top, led by Michael Jordan, where they saw great success, dominating that era with 6 championships, including 3 three-peats. Later, we saw a bittersweet time of the young star Derrick Rose in the city, where he became the youngest player to be named the NBA's most valuable player for a season. We've also seen Jimmy Butler come in as a project and leave as a star, and now we're here with his current Chicago Bulls. So how much potential is really in Windy City going forward? If we're going to talk about the Bulls, we have to start with Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's evolution as an NBA player has been great to see. From a guy mainly known as a high flyer turned to one of the best scorers in the entire league. This season, Chicago superstar earned himself an all-star appearance with his super efficient scoring. His 3-level scoring has been unstoppable. His athleticism and first step help him get to the rim at will. Once he's there, his craftiness and skill, combined with his jumping ability, leave him as a very good slasher. He's super quick and unpredictable with the ball, and he has the skill to finish at the basket, which helps him to shoot a very high percentage in the restricted area. LaVine is not only a very reliable finisher down low, but his 3-point shooting this year has been among the league's best. He can pull up off a screen, catch and shoot. His step back is ridiculous, and he can pull it off with the quickness. LaVine can also shoot in the mid-range area, shooting above league average in most of the mid-range areas on the NBA court. Zach LaVine has really become a star in this league, and I'm sure Bulls fans love to have another star in the city. And we all know how important it is in today's league for franchises to surround their franchise players with competent talent. The Chicago Bulls can't afford to make a mistake a lot of franchises have made in the past and lose Zach because they failed to build a squad around him that can compete one day. So we know LaVine is a star and will be a star for a very long time, but which Bull will be able to take that next step and become Zach's co-star sooner rather than later? Coby White becoming a star guard in the backcourt next to Zach LaVine is a hope for Bulls fans. The Chicago Bulls picked Coby with their 7th pick in the 2019 NBA draft out of North Carolina, where Coby averaged 16, 4, 4, and 1. And so far throughout his NBA career, Coby White has been pretty solid statistically, and he's shown some good flashes of potential. He has a long way to go, but this is expected for a player in their second year, especially for a player who had this guy coaching him in year 1. Right now, he's best labeled as a combo guard rather than a straight-up point guard because he's not a great overall playmaker. As a scorer, though, he's okay. As a 3-point shooter specifically, he does have heavy improvements to make, especially with his pull-up 3-point shot. As a guard in today's league, you obviously need to be able to shoot, especially off the dribble. Right now, White is much more of a standstill 3-point shooter rather than an off-the-dribble guy. Coby's improvements as a 3-level scorer are crucial for his future. If he's the next guy up in Chicago, we need to see heavy improvements in this area going forward. Much like Coby White, Wendell Carter Jr. is still very raw. He was drafted to be a strong, consistent inside presence for the Bulls, and lately he's been trying to deepen his offensive bag, recently shooting more mid-ranges and 3-point shots. Coby and Wendell still have a lot of developing to do, and that's to be expected. They're both very young and have a lot of time. They've both recently been benched for this reason for Thomas Satoransky and Thaddeus Young, 2 vets who bring much more stability to that starting group. These 2 players bring great playmaking for the starting lineup, especially Thaddeus Young. He's a smart veteran and a great passer who scores down low, and with his left hand, Thaddeus Young seems automatic. Satoransky brings good playmaking and good shooting. And Coby White is much more of a scorer than a playmaker who will get shots for himself and others, so 6 Man of the Year scoring punch off the bench role will be much better for him right now. And hopefully Wendell Carter Jr. being benched motivates him to be better for the future. But there's another guy in Chicago who has real potential to become Zach LaVine's co-star. Lauri Markkanen, a dynamic stretch big drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 2017, going 7th overall. Lauri's offensive skill set as a big who could shoot leaves him with the most potential on the team, of course outside of Zach LaVine. Most of the time he wanted catching and shooting and coming off screens, but could also put the ball on the floor better than most bigs. He has the potential to be a great player in this league, but the issue has been his inability to stay on the floor because of injuries. But what he brings to the court when he's on it and he's available is very, very valuable. Him and LaVine gaining chemistry and learning how to really play off of each other and take over games together will be huge going forward. And Lauri may be able to just be that second star that the Bulls need going forward. Having Satoransky in the starting lineup over White and Thad Young over Wendell will help Lauri and Zach learn how to really coexist. Young and Satoransky can better set these two up and let them work on offensive ends. This potential star-young tandem can hopefully bring the Bulls to that next level, help them really avoid making the mistake that a lot of franchises have made and lose out on an all-star talent because they failed to build around them. Lauri Markkanen staying healthy is really the key. As of right now, his best attribute is his three-point shooting, but as a 7-footer, he should be focusing on being more physical from possession to possession and becoming a more dominant post player so he can have that inside and outside presence. This new Bulls starting group is much more equipped to win games, but the team as a whole has a big issue keeping the leads that they create, many times folding in the very last quarter. Sloppy play and getting too comfortable with the big lead opens up the door for their opponents to make big comebacks and really demoralize Chicago. Locking in from tip-off until the final buzzer sounds is crucial in the short term when it comes to being a respectable playoff team that can win games that they're supposed to win. But before they worry about developing any of the young guys into stars, they must learn how to win as currently constructed. Having star players isn't enough to win big. You still need a consistent defensive game plan, you need chemistry, and overall consistent effort. So the goal right now should be letting your young guys develop and make mistakes. But even with all that being said, Lauri being able to stay healthy and continuing to develop and potentially developing into a star is a hope for Bulls fans in the long term. It could help them get to that championship level one day. We know in today's NBA you need multiple stars to win a championship, and the Zach and Lauri duo seems like the most likely future star duo for the young Bulls. He has clear potential, and his versatility as a 7-footer is scary for the league if he reaches his ceiling. So what could these potential Bulls look like in a few years? If Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen can develop into Chicago star duo like I think they can, the Bulls could really have something. We know they have potential all around, but the only established guy on the team as of right now is Zach LaVine. He's so good at his young age with his shot creation as one of the best scorers in the league, and no one expected this when seeing him in his early years in the NBA. Again, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, his scoring prowess on all three levels, combined with his elite efficiency, is just ridiculous on paper and ridiculous to watch on the court. Outside of Zach and Lauri, I think guys like Kobe White, Wendell Carter Jr., and Patrick Williams really playing into their role and bringing a number of things to the table each night, while LaVine and Lauri make up your star duo is the most likely scenario for this young team going forward. And if they can really develop into something great as a team, they should be able to keep Zach in the city and avoid losing this unique superstar. The Chicago Bulls cannot make this mistake. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Rashad with Hoops Times 2. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Peace out.